Right, so welcome to another episode of the Blerd Talk Podcast, brought to you by the Blerd Initiative. Today's topic is racial concepts on fictional characters, meaning Superman and Batman are white, but sometimes writers decide to make them black. People get upset. It's kind of like a double standard because, God forbid you make Black Panther white. So like that, it just sends everything into a frenzy. What? There you go.
Yeah, this was not planned at all. I just happened to have this shirt on when you were doing this, and I was like, chances of that though.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure there's been other characters like with Alex. You're in the cosplay, and I know you've seen how some characters who are traditionally white, some Black people has cosplayed as. What was the reception that you've seen from the cosplay community?
So before I get into that real quick, I gotta be that guy in the room. Superman technically is an alien, so
he can be any color he wants.
He can be whatever alien color he wants to be. I don't think people will be too upset at that one. Or if they made like Lois Lane black and then they had a little mixed baby, a little mixed Superman rolling around the hood or some crap like that.
Oh, why he got me rolling around the hood? No.
with that good hair.
He over that good hair? Oh my God. Why he flying like that though?
He flying like
But side note though. So no, so one of the biggest things I saw when going to Otakon, I think this was like around 2018, 2019. There was a Caucasian lady who was in the forums as I peruse through every now and then, not often. And she really loved Black Panther. And she wanted to cosplay as Shuri from Black Panther, but she's white. So
wait, I think we had this conversation.
Yep, this is the conversation we had, right? So I'm like, on one end, of course, obviously, it's like, hey, she loves this character. She loves, whatever aspects of this character she loves enough to cosplay as him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the other aspect of like this character's heritage, their storyline, their plot development, what they stand for, etc., etc. Not to say Shuri is, on the exact same wavelength as like, let's say, Killmonger and things like that. Like to see like maybe a Caucasian Killmonger might be like frazzled to some people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as it's concerned, it's a very strange, interesting line. So she was asking people, and most people were pretty supportive, not even most, all people I saw on the forums were pretty supportive of her just cosplaying Shuri, just showing love for that. However, when I brought that up to you,
yeah, it was frowned upon, right?
It was strongly frowned upon.
Okay, let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it was like a shock to the system. Like, what? A white person playing Shuri? Like, no, of course not. That's blasphemous. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, you don't do that. But looking back, I felt like that was kind of I guess ignorant of me to like, I don't know if ignorant is the right word, but it was, in hindsight, any person can cosplay as any character. No character is tied to a specific race because they're not even a real person in the first place, right?
Okay. Can we time that out for a sec though? There are certain characters who are tied to their race.
Oh, okay. Well,
like Black Panther. Black Panther is definitely Storm tied to her race and her heritage. Static Shock. A lot of everything that goes on for that. Like, it would not be the exact same story if he didn't grow up in the ghetto. If he was no. It's really more so the environment of it and the way his storylines play out. So like Superman's storyline can play out wherever, whenever, because he's an alien species with just superpowers. But someone like Black Panther's storyline and his heritage and how the entire Wakandan nation got created, that's specific to Africa. You can't just say, all right, now it's in Europe with a bunch of Europeans. Like,
okay,
like maybe a what if scenario or spinoff or things like that, but just like to move forward to say this is now the Black Panther and it's a white dude.
Well, yeah. Okay, in that context, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that in reference to like in the real world, like cosplay.
With us here, but like in but like in cosplay world, yeah, I agree. I think everyone should be able to cosplay whomever.
Yeah, and I think people get so. And I don't know if I don't want to say rightfully so, but like when it comes to Black characters, people get tied onto the race because they're Black and minorities and representation reasons, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If a white fan or comic book, you look like you about to say something stupid.
No, I'm waiting.
But if a white person were to be attached to a certain character like Batman, who is notoriously known to be white, and they was like, oh, I'm attached to this character because it's white, that's gonna sound kind of funny to the rest of us. But as soon as they changed them to Lucius Fox's son or something like that, then it's like it was, I don't want to say it was a controversy, but it was definitely like some friction. And then when that Batwoman TV show, I guess, well, that was it was some behind the scenes stuff. But when the character
went
CW, that channel that no one talks about.
Yeah, let's not give it any more publicity. That let's just say the CW, and I think everyone understands from there. But
the bootleg BT, but
yeah.
But yeah, when that character changed, well, the actress changed to a Black actress. I didn't necessarily see any flack for that, but I'm sure there was somebody out there somewhere, because I didn't go looking for it. I didn't want to look for it, but I'm sure there's somewhere out there somewhere who had a problem with that. So Kenny, I know you're
No, every time I hear about that stuff, all I think is like, Hinata, is it Black?
She gonna be Black today. So like
that gonna be Black. That's the funny thing I laughed at about it, because like the show Cowboy Bebop that recently just came out, people were talking about the character Spike. I forgot the main person's name. Forgot his name, that actor. But they were saying John Chu or something. They were saying he can't be Spike because he's old. He's an older character. And I laugh at that, because this is like a bunch of everybody saying white, Black, people are saying that. And all I think about is just, Hinata, is it Black? Like, that's all I think about, because in some aspects, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, but people don't think that way. So it's just like, I just laugh at it, because it always comes with our race and certain things. Like we're allowed to do some things where other people aren't allowed to do these things. I'm just like, no, that's not how it works.
So what? I have a question for y'all. As far as when it comes to live action anime, whitewashing, what is your opinion on that? I think
I'm trying to think of one that
Scarlett Johansson did Ghost in the Shell. Did y'all look into that? I ain't look into it, but I know it happened. I know it's a thing.
The funny thing about Ghost in the Shell, Major's a fucking cyborg. She can take on whatever face she wants. And that's what people need to get to understand, is that Major is a fucking cyborg. She's not human. She is cybernetic all the way.
So then people don't think about the technicalities behind these characters then.
They don't. A lot of people don't think about the technicalities on a lot of characters. And
Alex, why you
all right. So now, all right. So it's always so funny to me, right? Though. So like let's take that example, right? She's a cyborg, right? I didn't watch Ghost in the Shell. So that's why I really don't have too much to say about it. But if this cyborg was modeled after an Asian person, like let's say the cyborg was modeled after Barrett from Final Fantasy, right? Blacker than black, right? This man has a gun as his arm, right? And then they put in Scarlett Johansson. And then still the thing is, it's just like Scarlett Johansson Barrett, right? Just, well, it's a fictional character, you know, he's an android, right? Like something like that, we'd be like, yeah, but
Bear's that's black.
Not even Bear's black. Yeah, so like there's still, I think, a fine line to be said with it. So like let's take, for example, and I haven't looked up this at all ever since it came through, because a lot of these stories are literally just inflated for the week and then you forget about it. Remember the entire thing with the Little Mermaid? And now we have a black Little Mermaid, right? Yeah. And people are like losing their minds, like Ariel can't be black, and we're just like,
that bitch is green.
It's a mermaid. Like it's not even real, right? So like, that's why it's
like,
so
how do we even know mermaids are white in the first place?
I mean, then they went through all the technically, like, you know, since they're so deep in the war, they'd actually like a tinge of like deep purple or blue.
They're Mediterranean.
Like, yeah. So they come out looking Persian or something like I don't know, but still like all that stuff is just funny though, because like I think honestly speaking, like it's fun to have the conversation about. But the only time I think it actually like truly like really matters is like historical figures. Because I remember we had the conversation, Dante, and you were like, no, okay with it and stuff like that. Or you were okay with it. And I was like, all right, but what if they did an adaptation with Martin Luther King, but they let it be a white dude? Because he can act really well, right? I
got a dream.
Exactly. So
I have.
So imagine though, like he is the best MLK impersonator ever, right? But he's 100% Caucasian.
No, that's not gonna work for me, dog. That's a no for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like historical references do matter, and the accuracy with it does matter, especially the story that's being played with it. But for someone like Batman, his race has nothing to do with his character. Anyone could have been Batman. Anyone could have lived in that effed up city that no one should ever live. Gotham is horrible.
What is
Gotham
anybody?
and Metropolis? I wouldn't live in either of them places. But anyway, like his race has no bearing on his powers, like at all. Anyone could be in Batman's story and be Batman. That's why I don't care about the race swap of Batman like that. I do care if it's done without taste, like catering to certain people because they scream. Like if Batman became trans suddenly, I'd be like,
but isn't Superboy like?
No, see, that's the only thing that really kind of like irks me about it. Is this like when they just turn just a random character? He's just a random character. I was like, yeah, this character's gay.
Like already established characters.
I'm like, what?
Need to just say already established. But like, if we obviously this Batman isn't Bruce Wayne. Like he is moving forward or going down the lineage of the Bat family. Sure, there's other people in the Bat family you can use. You can always create other people in the Bat family. I don't care about that. But they suddenly were like, it's now the year 2060 and Earth has fallen. Batman, and then he just shows Batman. He's like this diesel black dude, like looking like a Luke Cage. Like I just be like, all right. But the thing is with it, you can always do multiverses. Like you always have different multiverses within the series and just say, hey, this is a what if scenario, blah blah blah. And like I don't think that would catch too much slack. But don't go around changing the original universe. That's my issue with it. Like don't make Starfire a guy. Like don't. Why would you do that? Like don't make Wonder Woman a dude.
What's funny?
Wonder Man.
What's funny is that Martian Manhunter in the Snyder cut was played by a black guy. So is Martian Manhunter black?
Yeah, and then kind of funny though. All the green aliens are always black.
They're like quote unquote. It's heavy quotations. Heavy quotations. They're black. Like Piccolo.
We got Pycon. We got Martian Manhunter now. It's always the green dudes right now.
That's just funny to me. I know I saw a list. This is Black History Month. This probably won't be aired during Black History Month, but at the time of recording, it's Black History Month, and they did list. I don't know if I sent it to y'all, but that shit
all
was
the
funny.
Anime lists.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they had what's it, Piccolo was like
number one.
Was the number one black guy in all anime. So now not only he's beating all stereotypes because not only is he black, he's a good father to Gohan.
Not even his kid. He's the best stepdad.
He is breaking all stereotypes. He's breaking down all barriers as a black man. Oh, black alien. Oh, green alien.
He's
whatever.
He's a whole dinosaur, bro.
He's a whole slug.
A whole Yoshi, bro.
Slug, man.
Now, every time I think about Piccolo and like what's it, reproduction is what Nappa said in the bridge.
Oh man.
But yeah. So, and it's crazy how people just nominated Piccolo as like the black guy,
and they were okay with it. Like that's the thing that like I love humanity at times, because sometimes you just do the weirdest, craziest stuff, and then they just be okay with it. Like Dispo should have probably been on that list. If you've never heard dubbed Dispo, y'all need to go watch that.
Please
right
do.
now.
That is the funniest shit I've ever.
That rabbit is definitely.
I'm the fastest in the universe, cuz.
I think we looked it up too. And the dude, the actor for it, actually is like,
yeah, he's black.
Yeah, he's black, but I forgot where he was from too. It's like in my head, I was like, "This is where he's from," and then he was from there. I was like, "Oh, this is wild."
Man from New York, dog.
Yeah, man, like that. It was crazy. I just saw Tim's all over this.
Right. I'm about to say, what if you saw it with time with Tim's?
Yeah, and like that's it. So just like to bring it, especially back to the topic, like that's also the importance of having like amazing voice actors to bring these characters to life. Because you could have had anyone else do that part, and we would have got a whole different representation of Dispo. Like they could have made him sound like Australian, like Birder, and we would have thought he's like Caribbean as fuck or something like that. Like they could have did any of those accents, and Dispo would have a whole different dub. But because this guy is doing it, this is the representation we think of it. Like Piccolo. Piccolo could have a whole different voice actor. We would never think anything. We never think he'd be black.
Is the voice actor even black?
Piccolo's voice actor?
No idea who his voice actor. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Well, while you're Googling, so we adopted as a community.
Nah,
that
he's
dude
not.
looks super pale.
He from DC, dog. White.
Yeah, his nationality is American.
So I wonder if the voice actor is like proud of.
He's also played Vegeta.
If the black community has adopted Piccolo, I wonder how he
you
feels
adopt
about
him.
That. Yeah, like are we adopting him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how that works. You have to talk to other people.
But yeah, I mean it's.
Oh, he's also a voice actor of All Might.
Yeah, I recognize the voice whenever my daughter watches My Hero Academia. But I could never place it. Like I knew it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. There's a lot of weird stuff going on when it comes to even cosplaying certain characters. Back to the topic of that girl that wanted to cosplay Black Panther. Honestly, she should be. I mean, Sherry, she should be able to cosplay. I mean, no problem. I wouldn't have an issue with it, but of course, other Black people would have an issue with it. And then, I would probably be the one to combat it against against my own people. Honestly, because I'd be like, you're cosplaying a character that's white, like.
Or Asian, or of Asian
descent. Yeah, East descent. You're not. So stop. It's like that's all it is to it.
I would have been interested. It would have been interesting to see a white woman as Shuri. I'm not even gonna lie. I want to see that. Like I want to see it for all the wrong reasons. I think I want to see how toxic the community is gonna be.
Oh wow.
Hey, at least he owned up to it, dog.
Like no, like it's like a social experiment to me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
I mean, we already had a social experiment at the Blerd Con.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it went pretty bad.
Yeah.
That went left instantly, huh?
It's the same shit. Like, stupid, man. Like it just made me not want to go to that convention again.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So now, like I said, minus the only things I have an issue with is for characters that actually are real or historical or important to a culture's religion, faith, or anything like that. That's when I would have an issue of being like, all right, maybe you shouldn't be Martin Luther King in Black History Month as a white dude rolling around. Like, that's all. I mean, like, well, I'm not gonna sit here and like fight the dude or anything like that, but I can understand how people would have a certain thing to say about that. As far as like Batman and things like that, I don't care.
You had already had an issue with that before, with one of our friends who wanted to cosplay Maui.
You wanted to cosplay Maui?
Yeah. Wait, what happened? Is that a story? Is this story time?
That's a story for another time. But,
okay.
Yeah, this is when we launch our Patreon. They can pay for these stories,
right?
Hey, my money. I need to get a picture of Mr. Krabs. That's my idol in SpongeBob.
But you've already had that. You've already dealt with that. It's like
I was like, hey man, if you get slumped, that's on you. I ain't picking your body off the concrete.
I don't feel like flipping omelets today, dog. You know,
bro. I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at you on the ground. I'm gonna look at him and be like, hey man, I get it.
God damn, that's supposed to be your friend though.
He is my friend, and my friends make bad choices sometimes.
Yeah, certain characters, you should just, like anime characters and stuff like that, cosplay whoever the heck you want, everything like that. I don't mind it. Don't care, honestly. As long as you do a good job at it.
So wait, if they do a bad job, then we can slam them, or?
Nah, I mean, I'm just gonna look at them sideways. I'm just like, just call it a day. That's it.
Do y'all remember like Death Note, the live action, the trash live action, Death Note, and the main character was white, and Light was like
No,
L was
that was an American adaptation. So that's it's a bit different.
Oh, so they get
it's
a
not
pass?
they said it from the get-go. This is an Americanized Death Note. So obviously enough to have all the same. Yeah.
It's still trash though, but I mean, okay.
Yeah, it was trash. Regardless if it was,
it was good or not. You can't really. American adaptations are usually always messed up all over the place, but
they need to stop.
Well, we need to stop. Like, you're probably right, but we ain't. Nothing. These people can't hold us back.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I always thought it was an interesting thing. Like, so to be clear, Alex, as far as a no is Black Panther being white is a no, right? But fucking, I don't know, Batman can be black. Obviously, they made a decision. That's done. So I mean, like, nothing we can say about that. But
hold on, let me give clarity on the Black Panther part. I would not encourage anyone just to go cosplay Black Panther. But if they do it, I mean, that's on them.
How would you? So, what would your reaction be if the person is in full Black Panther, right? Got a mask on and everything. You have no idea they're white. And then they put the mask off, and it's a whole white dude.
It's a white dude.
I mean,
I've been hanging out, taking pictures of the fist bump them the whole day, right?
It's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It already happened before.
I'm sure it has somewhere.
Yeah, somebody cosplayed as Spider-Man, like Peter Parker Spider-Man. They were black. He was wearing Peter Parker's outfit. He took off the mask. We were just like.
So he couldn't switch it. Nobody. So
he be Miles Morales.
No. Somebody said, "So you're Miles Morales?" And he was like, "No, I'm Peter Parker." And they were just like,
he probably had a dead ass look at his face.
But it's just like, he got upset at that because he's like, "Why? I can't cosplay Peter Parker?" So I'm like, no, nobody has a problem with that. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, but people just thought you were, you took off your mask. They thought you was Miles Morales.
They thought you was white.
Because you're black. So, I mean.
so that goes to show that Spider-Man, like you said about Batman, how anybody can be Batman. Literally, anybody can be Spider-Man. Because they had like a whole multiverse. A pig can be Spider-Man. Spider-Man,
a robot,
a fucking Noir-looking dude wearing
a white hair, blonde
LA Noir.
I mean, a white woman, a blonde hair, blue-eyed white woman, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, and that's because they expanded their verse to kind of fit the narrative of it. I mean, a lot of things in Marvel with their multiverse does that. Like, literally every and anything exists at the same time with the entire multiverse theory. So that's why anyone can just be that. Like when people are I think people are mad at like Thor being female. I think I saw like articles about that.
But there is
something was going on with that. Yeah, it's like, but there is one.
Yeah, it's like that. There was a time where in Black Panther, there was T'Challa had a brother, and he was white.
Yeah, and that entire thing happened.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where you see that sword.
Yeah, so he had a brother. He was white. He wore a White Panther suit. He was called the White Panther or White Tiger or some shit like that. Same powers and everything, just like T'Challa.
Yeah.
But white as snow.
Yeah, it's like my biggest thing still like no snow in Wakanda. No snow in Wakanda. He ain't blending into nothing.
There's no such thing as a mountains of Caucasus.
Can you imagine his nighttime operations? Like, remember in Black Panther, the first they had the nighttime. Imagine this dude not blending into nothing.
As soon as he hit the ground, it was like, "Hey, it's him."
Hey, you brighten him up.
They got him right there.
They know where he is exactly. He can't sneak up on nobody.
Yeah, so it's like also people don't know, like a lot of people, these new and that's why I kind of don't like what's going on even in gaming. These new comic goers or stuff like that, they don't know what the fuck is going on in half these comics, and they just get mad at something. They come in around like 2015 or 26, whenever it became popular. They came in
and when comic books became popular.
Yeah,
with the beginning when all the Marvel films. I'd say like all the Iron Man, original Iron Man.
Around that time period, around like Avengers or whatever, they came in. People don't know the history of these other characters that are actually already there. Like people were upset. Michael B. Jordan was playing Superman or some shit like that, I think, and they were upset. They were upset about that. I heard about that. And I was like, there is a black Superman. There is a black cow.
So in another thing I noticed too, like there are some like in Doctor Strange, I don't know if y'all seen that.
Yeah.
But
what he's going through in his life.
Yeah, so Mordo, I don't know if I'm saying it right. He's not black in the comic books, but he's played by a phenomenal black actor. Then the Asian one is Asian in the comic books, but it's played by a white woman. So I know there was a whole conundrum about why was the Asian one being played by a white woman. And I think the director or somebody said they didn't want to make it a stereotype. They didn't want to make the Asian one a stereotype or something like that. I don't know if you're Googling it, Alex.
No. There's something else that you made me think of when you were talking about when he was saying gaming and stuff like that. The weirdest thing for me, because like I saw it and then I was like, there's something off here. Remember seeing Nick Fury for the first time in the movies?
Yeah, he was black.
He's black. He wasn't always black.
He wasn't.
He was white.
He wasn't. Dude. He was a white dude.
He was an old white dude.
He was an old white dude. Because the thing is, like, I remember because I got three people confused. I got Nick Fury, Cyclops, and Cable confused because two of them wear that patch that Nick Fury has, and then obviously Cyclops being the son of future, the entire thing going with the X-Men there.
Well, no,
so Cable. Well, was it Cyclops is Cable's son or Cable is
Cyclops son?
Cyclops,
Cable is Cyclops.
No.
No, it's reversed.
Yeah. Cable is Cyclops son. Yeah, Cable is Cyclops son. You're right. I had a thing.
But I'm about to fact check all of y'all. Like,
that's what I'm saying, because that's why it's like I always got, even to now, obviously, I still got that confused. So I remembered that when I was watching the film, like, I mean, he looks cool, but he ain't the right quote unquote race. So like, but no one batted an eye at that. There wasn't a single thing I saw of anyone being like, Nick Fury needs to be white, it needs to be source material. Like, but
right. So I think what people got used to. So I remember because I read comic books back in the early 90s, right? So at that point in time, Nick Fury was white. There was no question about it. So then Marvel came out with this Ultimate series, where it's like a different reality of the same characters, and it was like more more aggressive in their tech. My screen's turned white.
I was like, why are you just fading away? I don't feel too good.
I don't feel too good, Mr. Stark. No.
Hey, if we saw that, I would lose him.
I think you're the Ultimate Universe.
So the Ultimate Universe Fury was black, and because they modeled him, from what I've heard or read, that they modeled him after Samuel Jackson. So then they had like a whole two, so it won't be confusing. They tied both of them together. Like somehow the Ultimate Nick Fury is like somehow related to the white Nick Fury, and now the white Nick Fury is like, I know, right? I don't know. I think when I breathe, but anyway, so now like the white Nick Fury is somehow, he's now some cosmic being now. I gotta look into it. But he's some type of cosmic something. He's not like earthly Nick Fury because now the black Nick Fury took his spot. So now he's like something else. So
that's interesting. Yeah, I definitely need to read about that. But yeah, though. So like when you were talking about, I'm just like, there's so many characters that have literally been changed with or without people knowing. Like I'm sure there's a lot more that I don't know about of like characters that were changed, but they still wind up being lovable, quality characters. And I think that's really the biggest thing is like, are you actually creating a quality character from scratch? Are you focusing on their motives, their development, what they do, what they stand for? Or are you instead just being like, all right, first off, they got to be black, and then they got to fit this sexuality box? Like, no. Like, I don't care about that. Are they a good character or not? And create them from either, if you're going to tie them to someone else, fine, but leave the original person's identity intact still. Like, don't just suddenly like tie someone off on Batman, and then Batman's this altruistic, super compassionate, always trying to be their dad or father figure. Like, Batman is not that. Like, you're not getting that from Batman.
He's not a good father at all.
Yeah, I heard he likes crowbars. But anyway, like just don't do that to original characters. Like leave them intact in how they are. And if you want to create other characters, do that's the same thing. Yeah, like, so you want to create another Little Mermaid, that's fine. Like I don't care. But like when you start messing with the original material, I think that's the issue.
So as long as it makes sense.
If it makes sense and hopefully it's done well. I mean, that's all we want. Things are just done
makes sense, good taste. Yeah, I don't think I really care about if things and characters just change. As long as it makes sense. Like I know because I've had several conversations. This is not pertaining to the topic at all, but as far as the recast T'Challa thing, and a lot of people, I did a poll on Twitter, and I did like, what would you prefer, the main T'Challa be recasted, or would you like a variant T'Challa since they dive into multiverse, or does it matter? And last time I checked, out of like 64 votes, like 50 something percent wanted the main character, the main T'Challa, like Chadwick Boseman T'Challa, to be recasted. 20% wanted a variant to be a different actor, which is obviously going to be the case. And then 20% said it don't matter. And I just like, so saying that to say like that is an interesting thing to me. I don't know where I was going with that.
I was waiting, dog.
Let me clean that up for you a little bit at the end there. So where you were trying to go with that was to say people's perspectives say that they just want a quality character made.
Right. Oh yeah, that's where I was going. Damn, full circle. Thank you. So so a lot of people was like they don't mind a variant Black Panther because as long as it makes sense, as long as it fits with the narrative, the story, and it flows together and it's just justifies the character or all that stuff. So I think overall, the overall feeling with people or with us is if you're going to change something, make sure it makes sense. Don't do it just to fit a criteria box or
check it off of. Almost every fucking movie is like that now. It's starting to get on my last nerves.
Yeah, the last thing. Let's chat about this real quick though. Even though Dante, I know you're not a big fan of Resident Evil series. The Resident Evil movie that came out, Welcome to Raccoon City, that atrocity. But regardless of reviewing that movie,
it looked bad.
They did so many different changes and swaps to all the characters, whether it was like race or how they looked or where they were, and it was just jarring, to say the least. But it wasn't like jarring into the fact of like, wow, why is this character not the appropriate race? It was jarring because the acting and the quality of the production, everything was so bad. Like I could have got behind all the changes because their race has nothing to do with any, like, I don't think not a single character's race in Resident Evil has anything to do with their story. Claire can be whatever color she wants to be, Leon, Jill, any of them. They can be whatever they want. But they all were bad. And that was the issue. So I think honestly that's where it kind of comes down to is like, if you're doing this just because a color change, why? Just go make another character then.
What defines good taste? Like what is a good taste in a character change like that to you, Alex?
So like reasons to like swap characters, let's say gender, race, sexuality, anything like that. I'd say if there is purpose or reasoning behind it outside of just doing it to be doing it. Like, is this actually involved with their story, their development, their character progression? Like, let's say, like hypothetically speaking, like let's say they wanted to give Batman some other love relationship, right? And let's say they wanted to do it with a guy, like new character guy, right? If they crafted a story that made sense for Batman to be in that type of relationship or situation, I'd be all for it. If they wrote it well, not just like next episode and he's kissing a guy and they're like, what happened? They'd be like, bro, come on. Like, I don't, yeah, like, yeah, like, give me that mask. Like, you know, it just seemed like silly. So if it's done in a way that's actually
palatable,
well, it's palatable to people. There just needs to be story, plot, and origin, something to tie it in, whether it's their powers, whether it's their abilities, whether it's their growth as a character, whether it's other additional characters taking the mantle, something, not just suddenly Batman likes dudes.
Man,
like this man is like in his 40s or 50s. There's been no hint or representation of that ever happening. And then Bruce, when in his 40s, is like, you know what I want, Robin? You know what I want, Robin number 6?
What if we said that in Christian Bale's voice?
You know what I want, Robin?
No, not that way. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was a dark time. So like that's what I'm talking about with it. Like when you just suddenly create these things that have no recollection or no bearing in their stories, and it's just suddenly there, that's what I have an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the reason why so many other characters' progressions are like so freaking amazing to see. Like for example, Wesker in Resident Evil, watching his progression from being the quote unquote good guy to slowly, you know, transform into the villain, to how he got his powers, to seeing his powers before he really kind of knew what the heck he was doing, to now he really knows what the heck he's doing type deal. Like that was crazy just to witness and grow with.
Bro, seeing that shit in Resident Evil 5 was on some other crap, man.
Yeah.
That man like, was a whole monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like think of it like this. Remember the X-Men original X-Men cartoon in the 90s? You can take pretty much probably any of their characters because they do it so well. But the one I'm going to highlight is going to be to end it off. Remember her name was Kitty, the one who would walk through walls. I can't remember what her actual X-Men
Shadowcat
was. Shadowcat. Remember Shadowcat in the very beginning when she got her power? She was literally falling asleep and just falling through the first floor, second floor into the basement, stuff like that.
She'll get like a migraine because her powers was kicking in. She'll get a migraine. She'll wake up on the first floor.
On the first floor or something like that, right? And it just like kind of happened. Like she walked through walls like kind of suddenly or fall through things. And then over time, we get to be a part of her progression to actually understanding her power and then figuring out how her power interacts with like her social life, being an X-Men, what that's like the pressure that puts on you. We got that whole progression to understand this is why she is the way she is. And let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say one of her close friends, best friends, things like that, was a female. And through her learning out how to do her power, she forms a romantic relationship with her. It's not throwing sexuality into your face or throwing bisexuality or lesbian or anything like that in your face. We can understand how this occurred and why it happened. So it wouldn't be like, this is silly or this is stupid. It would be, oh my gosh, this is actually amazing. Like they're kind of quote unquote meant for each other type deal, that kind of story. But just to throw an already character that's made into a new edition, and then you see Shadowcat just kissing Rogue, like before Rogue even has powers or something. Exactly. Like we'd be like, what's even happening? Like
whoa.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's why kind of like a lot of our recent shows nowadays, they just do that. A lot of times they just do like they just throw that shit. It's either the first episode, somebody already getting it. Somebody, it's like, how did we get here? It's like that's why I don't watch as many shows like right now. Like the Fresh Prince show we're watching now. Oh, not Fresh Prince. Bel-Air show we're watching is a really good. It's a really good show. Really well written show.
Yeah, the little bit I did see when Alex was playing in the Discord, it was pretty good.
It's really good show. Like that's the first time in a long time where I've watched a show. It was good, and an American show that was just good. Mm-hmm. But not to get off topic, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
if you want to cosplay another race, go for it. No problem. Just be careful out there because people are savages.
Yeah, that's the words of wisdom by Kenny. To end off every episode, he always, hey, if you want to do it, just fucking do it.
Just do it. I mean, like, hey, just do it, bro. Just do it. But hey, I'm just let you know. Get ready to throw them hands if it has to come down to it, because that's what's going to happen.
All right, now this is not the best advice.
No, I mean, honestly, some people will just fight people for no reason because of the game. I'm like, bro, it's a fictional character. Don't squabble over it. It's stupid.
Nah, common sense isn't common.
So, yeah, you know what fandom probably actually has a lot of people that get mad when people cosplay. It's probably like anyone who's actually seen or done it, anyone who's cosplayed Sailor Moons, like any of the moons. because there's an entire like sect of like Black Sailor Moons. And I'm not saying this is bad or anything like that. I think they all look amazing, and they use a lot of the tribal prints from Africa and a lot of the colors and things like that, and they're just freaking gorgeous. But I wonder, like, I guess maybe like on the darker web or other people, if they get like mad at that because they're taking the Sailor Moon traditional just colors and then making their own moons of it. I think it looks absolutely amazing. But I know there are some people
about that.
Really. I'm gonna show them to you after this.
Yeah,
they're incredible. But yeah, I mean, I got nothing else really. We're good.
So is there any closing remarks? Are we done?
I'm kind of done with people. All right, that's my closing remark.
You always done with people. I don't think there's never a time where you're not done with people.
Yeah, I just go to work and go home, dog.
Yeah, that's all you can do. But thank you for tuning in this episode of the Blerd Talk Podcast. I see that he just Alex just sent a Google.
Yeah, send that link. Yeah, click that link. Yeah, put that in this podcast somewhere so people can see this gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
They're absolutely beautiful. I love seeing all of them.
But yeah, so thank you for listening in on this podcast episode, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Take care.
Your cat just like jumped behind you.
Oh, Susan.
Wait, I can't end it. Oh, there you go. Oh, no. Damn, this thing's still recording. I'm doing all this.